Like in high school, I didn't really fit in. Friendships never lasted, and relationships, even worse. I cycled through boyfriends. Each one left, calling me clingy, controlling, crazy. At first I blamed them, thought they couldn't handle someone who cared too much. But maybe they were right. I pushed people away. I just don't know how to hold on. After graduation, nothing improved. I got a job, did the 9 to 5 grind, and came home every night feeling empty. Loneliness became the routine. I'd scroll through social media, watching everyone else live lives I couldn't reach. One night, desperate for a connection, I downloaded a dating app, threw together a profile with a few half-decent selfies. At first I was picky, no matches, so I gave up and swiped right on everyone. Eventually he appeared. He looked perfect, clean cut, ripped, with a cute smile. I swiped right, and within seconds, we matched. He messaged me immediately, a cheesy pickup line. I should have rolled my eyes, but I didn't. I smiled. I felt something. We hit it off fast. Texted all day, every day for a week. It felt effortless, natural. He asked me out for dinner and to see a horror movie. He paid for everything, laughed at my jokes, and held my hand when I flinched at the scary parts. That night he asked me to stay over, and I said yes. His apartment was clean, minimalist, black painted walls, a Fight Club poster, and above his bed, a katana. I remember staring at it, thinking it was weird, but cool. We fell asleep in each other's arms. From that night on, I thought we were something real. Weeks passed. I got attached. Too fast. I started second-guessing everything. Every text he didn't reply to right away. Every smile at his phone. I had an inner feeling that he was cheating. Someone that perfect couldn't possibly want someone like me forever. When I confronted him, I spiraled. Accusations, anxiety, tears. But he always calmed me down. Too easily. Like he'd done it before. One morning I woke up in his bed alone. He'd gone to the gym. I stretched, and something brushed against my foot. A long strand of hair, but it wasn't mine, and it was too long to be his. My stomach dropped. I told myself I was overreacting, but then I found more. One on his jacket collar, another on a towel in the bathroom, all different colors, all long, all not mine. He never mentioned roommates, no sisters, no pets. So whose were they? I gathered the hairs, sealed them in a Ziploc bag with shaking hands. When he got home I asked, casually, if any women had been over. He said no, looking genuinely confused, like I was imagining it. I told him it was jealousy again. He understood. He always seemed to understand. But I didn't let it go. I had the hair's DNA tested. I needed proof. Proof I wasn't crazy. Proof he was lying. A week passed. Barely any contact. Then he invited me over to dinner. Somewhere quiet and romantic. I knew I shouldn't go, but I did. Near the end of the meal, He excused himself to use the restroom. That's when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something in me said to pick it up. A calm voice on the other end. A man introduced himself as a police detective, asking me if I recently submitted DNA samples for testing. Yes, I told them slowly. He asked me where I got them from. I paused, confused, then told him I found them in my boyfriend's apartment. There was silence from the other end. What he said next made my world stop. The DNA matched 3 different women, all of them reported missing within the last 9 months. My hands trembled. I stared at the candle on the dinner table, heart pounding in my chest. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Then he came back, smiling, casual, like nothing had changed. I panicked and hung up. He sat down, eyes locked on mine, asking me if everything was okay. I couldn't tell him what I just heard. I couldn't trust him anymore. I lied and told him the first thing I could think. I told him my grandma passed away, and that I want to go home. He watched me closely, like he knew I was lying, like he was trying to decide something. Then he smiled, and said okay. The drive was silent, no music, no small talk, just his eyes on the road, and my pulse screaming in my ears. When we got to my house, he turned to me and said, "See you soon." I got out. He didn't wait for me to go inside. He just drove off. I told my parents everything. My mum turned pale. She told me to call the detective back. I didn't want to at first, but I did. Police moved immediately. They went to his apartment, but he wasn't there. That night the officers stationed outside our house in an unmarked vehicle, parked just out on the street. I couldn't sleep. Every noise sent adrenaline through my veins. Then sometime after midnight, I heard shouting. I ran to the front door. There he was, on our lawn. 2 officers had him pinned to the ground. My dad stood nearby frozen. And beside him was the katana. The same one that used to hang above his bed. He had gone back for it. He planned to kill me. The detective later told me that my boyfriend said I knew too much, that I was too quiet, too pale, so he drove me home, just to lower my guard. Then went back for the katana. That's when they caught him. He confessed to everything. He killed those 3 women, used his charm, his calm voice, and that smile. He led police to the bodies, and the murder weapon, the katana, the one I used to sleep beneath, thinking I was safe. He's in prison now. I haven't seen him since, but I think about it all the time. How could he read me like a book? How carefully curated his life was. Like he wasn't just hiding something. He was performing it. And that katana, hanging above me like a trophy. I should have known. But honestly, how could I? Would you have known? Because in the end, everyone's a stranger.